Indonesia, 1965. A nation on the brink, torn by Cold War tensions. Whispers of communist plots filled the air, a palpable fear settling over the archipelago. The night of September 30th, 1965 arrived, forever etching itself into the nation's soul. A supposed coup attempt, the details murky, unleashed a wave of violence that swept across Indonesia. The Indonesian Communist Party, PKI, once powerful, was blamed. What followed was a systematic purge, a brutal chapter in Indonesia's history. Hundreds of thousands, perhaps 1 million souls perished in the ensuing months. The military, under General Suharto, seized control, consolidating its power amidst the chaos. The killings, disappearances, and mass graves left an indelible scar on the Indonesian psyche. The events of 1965 were not just a national tragedy, they severed Indonesia from its past, setting it on a new, uncertain course. The search for justice and reconciliation remains an ongoing struggle, a testament to the enduring legacy of 1965. Among the most targeted during this dark period were Indonesia's intellectuals, artists, and thinkers. Poets, writers, academics, and students, anyone suspected of harboring leftist sympathies, found themselves in the crosshairs. Libraries were ransacked, books burned, and universities purged. Many were imprisoned without trial, languishing for years in squalid conditions, subject to torture and abuse.
For those who escaped the dragnet, exile became the only option.
Countries like the Netherlands, France, and the Soviet Union became unexpected havens for these displaced souls.
The pain of separation, the guilt of survival, haunted our waking hours. In exile, we continued to raise our voices against the injustices perpetrated by the Suharto regime.
Through our writings, our music, our activism, we kept the memory of 1965 alive.
We formed tight-knit communities in our adopted countries, preserving Indonesian culture and identity.
Yet, despite their resilience, the scars of exile ran deep. The longing for home, the ache of displacement, never truly faded. The trauma of 1965, transmitted across generations, became a defining element of their family histories. The Indonesian tragedy of 1965 serves as a stark reminder of the enduring impact of Cold War politics. This period was marked by intense geopolitical tensions and ideological battles that shaped the destinies of many nations, including Indonesia. The events in Indonesia were deeply intertwined with the global ideological struggle between communism and the West. The Cold War era saw the world divided into two major camps, each vying for influence and control over strategic regions. The United States, deeply invested in containing communism, played a significant role in supporting the Indonesian military's rise to power. This support was part of a broader strategy to curb the spread of communism in Southeast Asia, a region deemed critical in the global balance of power. Declassified documents have revealed the extent of American involvement, from providing lists of suspected communists to supplying weapons and training to the Indonesian army. These actions were part of covert operations aimed at influencing the political landscape of Indonesia. The legacy of 1965 continues to cast a long shadow over Indonesia's foreign relations. The events of that year have left an indelible mark on the nation's history, affecting its diplomatic ties and international standing. The unwillingness of Western powers, particularly the United States, to fully acknowledge their role has hindered efforts at reconciliation and justice. This lack of acknowledgement has perpetuated a cycle of denial and silence, impeding the healing process. The Indonesian government has long maintained a policy of silence and denial, suppressing open discussion about the massacres. This suppression has prevented a full reckoning with the past, leaving many questions unanswered and many wounds unhealed. However, in recent years there has been a growing movement within Indonesia led by survivors, activists, and artists, demanding truth, justice, and accountability. These voices are challenging the official narrative and seeking to bring light to the dark chapters of history. The struggle to come to terms with the past is essential for the future of Indonesia. Reconciliation requires a collective effort to acknowledge the truth, honor the victims, and ensure that such atrocities are never repeated. The wounds of 1965 continue to fester, dividing communities and hindering national reconciliation. The legacy of violence and mistrust has created deep-seated divisions that must be addressed for the nation to move forward. The international community also has a moral obligation to support Indonesia's efforts to uncover the truth about 1965. Global solidarity and support can play a crucial role in the pursuit of justice and reconciliation. The echoes of Indonesia's 1965 tragedy continue to reverberate today, a stark reminder of the human cost of ideology and the enduring struggle for truth and justice. The lessons of the past must inform our present and future actions to build a more just and peaceful world.
Kuburan kami ada di mana-mana. Kuburan kami berserakan di mana-mana, di berbagai negeri, di berbagai benua.
Halik Hamid dengan salah satu puisinya yang ia susun selama puluhan tahun tinggal di pengasingan. Saat ini Halik tinggal di Belanda bersama sejumlah eksil lain yang tertahan pulang setelah peristiwa gerakan 30 September 1965. Ia termasuk satu dari ribuan mahasiswa Indonesia yang pada tahun 1960-an dikirim pemerintah untuk belajar di sejumlah negara.
Kalau teman-teman ada yang belajar ke berbagai negeri di Eropa Timur ataupun Barat, saya ditugaskan belajar ke Albania. Peristiwa Oktober 1965, kami sudah berada di Albania, jadi kami tidak mengetahui peristiwa itu.
Bila Halik di Albania, Sungkono dikirim oleh Kementerian Ilmu Pengetahuan saat itu untuk melanjutkan studi teknik mesin di Moskow, Rusia.
Pada tahun 1966, Kedutaan Indonesia di Moskow bersama atase militer telah mengumpulkan mahasiswa Indonesia yang belajar di Uni Soviet untuk di-screening. Pokoknya saya nggak begitu ingat lagi lah pertanyaannya, tapi yang penting ditanya bagaimana sikap kita terhadap peristiwa 65. Waktu itu saya menjawabnya bahwa saya tidak tahu menau soal itu, karena kan saya sedang belajar di luar negeri.
Cerita selanjutnya adalah pencabutan paspor. Sejumlah sejarawan mengatakan paspor orang Indonesia yang dicabut pada 1965 dan 1966 adalah mereka yang tidak mau mengatakan dukungan terhadap pemerintahan Orde Baru, apapun latar belakang ideologi mereka. Ibrahim Isa termasuk di antaranya. Paspornya dicabut saat mewakili Indonesia dalam konferensi Trikontinental Asia Afrika dan Amerika Latin pada tahun 1966 di Kuba.
Ketika paspor saya dicabut dan identitas saya tidak ada lagi sebagai warga negara Indonesia, menjadi orang eksil, itu seolah-olah nyawa kita akan dicabut. Saya ini, jadi itu penderitaan yang pribadi, nggak usah saya cerita di sini. Tapi itu sakit sekali.
Tidak ada angka resmi jumlah eksil Indonesia saat ini, tetapi diperkirakan saat ini ratusan. 50 tahun telah berlalu sejak peristiwa 1965. Namun pengakuan atas apa yang terjadi masih diharapkan Ibrahim Isa.
Jadi yang pertama itu akui. Ini yang sebetulnya sudah diakui oleh Komnas HAM. Mengakui bahwa itu satu kesalahan besar. Kedua, merehabilitasi nama baik dan hak-hak politik mereka.
Komisi Nasional Hak Asasi Manusia telah menyatakan bahwa peristiwa 1965-1966 sebagai pelanggaran HAM berat. Ketua Komnas HAM Nurholis mengharapkan Presiden Joko Widodo dapat mengambil inisiatif untuk meminta maaf atau menyatakan penyesalan kepada korban pelanggaran HAM pasca 1965.
Dengan pikiran yang jernih dan hati yang tulus, saya sebagai Kepala Negara Republik Indonesia mengakui bahwa pelanggaran hak asasi manusia yang berat memang terjadi di berbagai peristiwa.